Alright, the plan was to originally save this for a stream so I could yap on and blabber on a stream about all these wacky, crazy ideas I have. I'll just do a video instead. I guess that makes more sense. From my, experience throughout all these Blackhawk updates and the new content we have, I'm pretty satisfied with what we have, and I think the game is in a good state right now. I think it's improved a lot, not just from operation to operation, but during Resurgence, how we got the big revamp, the menu change, the whole headshot UI, that stuff. I do think there are a couple of things that, who developed this game? Is it Platinum 5 or is it Game Loaded Entertainment? Okay, I think the developers should add not should add. I just have a few suggestions that I think are cool that could make it into the game because they're not stupid. I know they want to keep the special forces feel, which is why we don't have LMGs, and also partly because no mechanics for suppressor fire. I don't know what that means. I don't think that means anything. Here are 6 things I think Platinum 5 or Game Loaded Entertainment should maybe consider adding into Blackhawk, because I think it made the game cool. Alright, first off, I listed these. I've got tags next to them. This one is tagged detrimental weapon presets. So I know we have loadouts. You can create your own loadout, name it, create a character. People are constantly changing their characters, changing their loadout, switching weapons depending on what changes. Sometimes if I do a shotgun video, I'll switch from my good assault rifle that I like using to a shotgun, and I have to go back and make that assault rifle. It's not that much of a tedious process, but if we had weapon presets, as in you could set the attachments, save the attachments, and when you equip that weapon you have those attachments still on from when you last modified it, I think that'd be pretty useful. Just quality of life stuff. That was at the top of my list. That one was not bugging me for a while, but I do think it would help out a little bit. Just saves time. Second on the list is something that I think this is tagged as would be cool. I think so. We have night vision, and there's a couple ways I think that they could go about this. Thermal vision. 2 words. That's it. Just thermal vision. Special forces use thermal vision. It's used in the military, so it's not unrealistic. Obviously, you can have an unrealistic depiction of it, but the idea of having it in the game is not unrealistic. You can just have blatantly thermal vision goggles, or you can have goggles that, unrealistic feature, but you can switch from night vision to thermal, or you could have fusion night vision, which is really cool. It's basically just this. It's a night vision as in everything is illuminated, but also you can see temperature of people. There's a Wikipedia article about it. Fusion night vision, it's awesome. So thermal I think is really cool, especially when you're doing stealth. I think developers should focus on some stealth. Because stealth is pretty bare bones. They should focus on building upon that stealth as it's a brand new feature. Speaking of stealth, that brings me to my third point, screw on suppressors. With screw on suppressors, I guess I should call it screw off suppressors. In games, most notably Tom Clancy games, which are fairly tactical. So in games such as Rainbow Six Vegas, Rainbow Six Vegas 2, Ghost Recon Wildlands, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and even games like Metal Gear Solid, as in Snake Eater and Phantom Pain, you can screw on and screw off your suppressor. Why this is useful is because the suppressor may offer some debuff to the stats. I don't know if it actually does, I'm just saying this. If not, the vanity feature could just be cool. But if the suppressor does affect your stats, whether that be negatively or positively, let's say you start stealth, you start sneaking around, shit hits the fan, and you want to go loud. You gotta take off that suppressor, because maybe it will, your weapon will return to its normal state, and you won't have that debuff anymore. If not, there's no debuff, then I think it would just be cool. It'd just be a cool thing to have, unless it's cluttering to add, as in be too many buttons for someone to press, inspect weapon, reload, shoot, another button just to press, I get it. Alright, so I cut out the 4th idea because it was so stupid looking back on it, that's all, thank you. So my 5th, I think, item on the list is a huge change, and it would completely change the way the game feels. When you aren't aiming down sights, you're in a position where you are not holding the gun at your hip, you're holding it higher, and you're still aiming. It's called point shooting. If Blackhawk made the change from hip firing to point shooting, I think it would drastically change the game. What the fuck. It would make your shots more accurate. It would just create a more tactical aura. I feel like what would happen is it'd be less fully automatic, there'd be more semi-automatic because you'd be more precise. And my final thing that I think should be added, which is labeled as detrimental, is a rangefinder. I just made a sniper shenanigans video, and honestly, I'll be honest, I'm not a good sniper. I'm not good at it. I'm not the greatest. I'm actually really bad at sniping. The way a rangefinder could work is either you have a rail, you know, one that you can attach to your rail on your gun, or one that you can place down, like equipment, like how we have flares, grenades and smokes, stuff like that. On that table would be a rangefinder that you can pick up. So if you're gonna go sniping, if you have a sniper, you just pick up a rangefinder, set it down next to you, check the range, and then you know the offset of which you have to aim, you know, all that stuff, just to find out exactly, and so you can really like get the feel of being a sniper, you know. It's a real thing. A rangefinder is a real thing. Even if you don't have the one that you can just pick up and place, because I understand, like, you know, like looking at the rangefinder, finding out the range, then crouching and aiming, and then like adjusting. That's kind of a little bit of too much of a process. So that's why I think you could have a rangefinder on the side of your gun. That is my 6 things that I think Platinum 5 should add to Blackhawk, or at least maybe consider. One of them's a little wacky, I get it. The idea is cool. I think the idea is awesome. I've only ever had one developer comment on one of my videos, and it was on the Flash channel. I think he was a gun modeler. So I don't really get blatant attention from the devs, which is fine. I don't really mind. I mean, it's a-okay. If there even is a dev that would watch this, these features are awesome. I think it's a massive opportunity, especially with the rangefinder, weapon presets, thermal, and screw-on suppressors. I think those are huge, and those could change the game in a positive way.